gallantly streaming, and the rockets ring clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. What a great day. It's going to go right here, right where we're sitting and standing, and there's our board of directors down there. Thank you for making this happen. Today marks a great moment for this city, this county, for all of Central Florida. My notes are about to fly away, so if I stop in the middle of a sentence, you'll understand. Today is the groundbreaking for two great halls, the Green Room, which will be a room for contemporary music and jazz. We'll do a partnership with the Jazz at Lincoln Center, and of course the Steinmetz Hall that'll be right here. The Green Room will be right back there, and Steinmetz Hall right here. The Steinmetz Hall will be one of the best, if not the best, acoustical performance halls in the world. So we're proud for acknowledging this great Steinmetz people. And over to my left, the Greens, Judson and Joyce. Sorry, Joyce. Today we're gathered to celebrate with a groundbreaking, but more importantly, we gathered to celebrate the support, partnerships, collaborations that made this moment possible. 6 years ago, many of us gathered to break ground on the Arts Center, then we came for the grand opening, and then we came to experience wonderful entertainment and education. One of the great visionaries of America, Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, said, "In my philanthropy and business endeavors, I've seen the critical role that the arts play in stimulating creativity and developing vital communities. The arts have a crucial impact on our economy and are important catalysts for learning, discovery, and achievement." On behalf of the staff and our board of directors of the Dr. Phillips Center, we thank all of you, our donors, our government partners, and the members and guests and the patrons of this great center. Thank you for being here to celebrate with us today. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of Dr. Phillips Charities, Ken.
Thank you, Jim. It's on days like these when I'm glad I put on those extra 5 pounds and I don't have to worry about blowing away. I do represent Dr. Phillips Charities. I'm very proud to, and the board of directors has been so instrumental in believing in this project in the Dr. Phillips Center and the legacy it leaves for the Dr. Phillips family. So I want to just take a moment before I start to thank them and introduce them. So we have Jim Ferber, our chairman of the board, Dr. Margaret Miller. Margaret, where are you hiding? I haven't even seen you today. I know you're there. Appropriately in orange. We have Harvey Burnett, who's here with us, and our CFO, Eva Takhtarian, and our Director of Grants, Wendy Oliver. So thank you all for your commitment. Thank you for your encouragement as we work through this. I can tell you we couldn't be prouder of this place, of this community, for bringing arts into the lives and now to fulfilling the dream of Phase 2 with the addition of the Steinmetz Hall and the Green Room. They're going to be spectacular. When we opened the Dr. Phillips Center just a little more than 2 years ago, I shared our commitment and reflected on the passion of Dr. Philip Phillips and his wife Della Phillips. The Dr. Phillips Center is just a block away from their home, and it's where in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, they would bring in artists from all over the world to perform on their front lawn for the community. And now this has become the front lawn of this community, and we just really couldn't be prouder of it. And we know that they would be very proud of this place right now, too. The new Steinmetz Hall and the Green Room and your support to ensuring their passion of the arts is kept alive and for many generations to come. And I encourage all of you to share in that commitment and to work with us to continue to engage and support the Dr. Phillips Center as it works together to enrich and strengthen the lives of the community here at large. Now it's my honor, and it really is an honor, to introduce the founding donors of the Steinmetz Hall in the Green Room. First, please let me welcome to the stage and Chuck and Margery Pabst-Steinmetz. Chuck?
Thank you, Ken. It's amazing what can happen when Republicans and Democrats and independents all work together. Those of us who have been involved here for a long time, 10, 12, 14 years, will tell you that the ride was always not smooth. There were a lot of bumps. And there were different opinions and different approaches to how we were going to get this done. But there wasn't one time that any one of us ever wasn't focused on what the end result could be. And it makes me so proud to see how we've done this. We couldn't have done it with a lot of people that gave us financial support. There's one particular story I've shared before about a lovely woman who came into the round building when we were in the concept stage and said that I was born and raised in Orlando, and I always wanted to do something that would be meaningful and long-lasting. And this particular project is what it's going to be, I am sure. And thereupon, she gave us a check for $1 million. I'll tell you, when I think about that and all the other people that are involved, it reminds me that it just takes a community to build this, not one person. We've had great leadership with Jim and Kathy, but it's been everybody who's been involved. And for that, I'll turn this over to my wife, Margie.
Good morning, everybody. This is a great day, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm kind of a newbie to Central Florida. My late husband and I didn't come here until 2002. We always knew that this community was a very welcoming community, but we never knew quite how generous it was. And over the last few years, I really realized the generosity of all of you. And so we all come today to this place on the threshold of Phase 2, Steinmetz Hall. So I want to thank you all for being here. Chuck asked me to say a word or two about philanthropy. As some of you who are my friends know, I talk about philanthropy as a ripple effect, and I do believe that Steinmetz Hall, and in fact this whole center, is a ripple effect across our community. The opera will be here, the Philharmonic, the ballet, and that's great. They will bring out such a high quality of art to our community. But you know what? It's the ripple effect across every citizen of this community that really will mean so much to me and to others. You know, you take the autistic child who will be inspired by this place, who is being inspired by this place. The grandmother who comes here for the first time to see her child dance in the ballet. The oboe player who's 7 years old and can't quite get the oboe. You know, it's a tough instrument to understand and get. And who's now going to be mentored by a wonderful musician in our community, as well as all the other organizations, UCF, Rollins, Valencia, goes on, and all the tourists that will come to this community from far and wide to witness what we've built here. So thank you for coming today and for making this a reality. And now we would like to introduce Joyce and Judson Green.
Thank you, Chuck and Margery. We're so excited to join with the Steinmetz and all of you for today's groundbreaking. Like Chuck and Margery, our love for the arts, classical music, jazz, opera, ballet, and more led us to this point. The performing arts gives life to a community, to all of us. And music especially brings people together. It's diverse, yet inclusive. It's part of why we love the arts and music and why we pledged our support to bring the Green Room to life.
The Green Room will truly be a gathering place, a music room where accomplished professionals and emerging artists can further explore, develop, and master their unique talents that we, as an audience, enjoy and treasure. The 9,000 square foot room will house these performances, while the room can also be transformed to accommodate special events. We're so proud to be part of the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts. We're so proud to be part of this great community, and so proud to, along with the Steinmetzes, bring you more offerings of the performing arts that will touch your soul, enrich your lives, and connect us to each other. So thank you for being with us today, and now it's our honor to introduce Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Thank you, Judson. So, good morning, everybody. Isn't it a great time to live in Orlando right here, right now? We've had a tremendous weekend, and the last couple of days, including today, reflect what I think is the can-do attitude that we have here in Orlando. 14 years of persistence on this, but when we set a vision and we're persistent, we get things done in Orlando. I think back to 2014 when we opened Sunrail Camping World Stadium in Phase 1 of the Performing Arts Center. And the tie I'm wearing, I've worn, this is the fourth time I've worn it. I wore it for the groundbreaking of Phase 1, the ribbon cutting of Phase 1, for the opening of Sea Art, and now for the groundbreaking here. And I plan on wearing it one more time in exactly 34 months from now. What's so unique about the Dr. Phillips Center? Thank you. I finally stopped saying DPAC and saying Dr. Phillips Center, and Ken loves that, as it turns out. But it's the long-term philanthropic commitment of donors like Chuck and Margery and Judson and Joyce and Jim and Alexis and Dr. Phillips Charities, led by Ken Robinson. And, of course, the fantastic staff that works here every day, Kathy Ramsberger, and all the people you see with orange badges. Your leadership and your support and your love for the arts are simply transforming our community, and I want to thank each and every one of you. Today we begin on the last leg of a decades-long journey, and it's a great day for our local arts groups, the city, the county, the entire region, and I am just thrilled to be here with you. All of our city commissioners are here with us today. I'd like to ask Commissioner Gray, Commissioner Ortiz, Commissioner Stewart, Commissioner Sheehan, Commissioner Hill, and Commissioner Ings to stand and be recognized. Wow, it's windy. I also want to acknowledge Mayor Crotty. I saw him here today. He was with us at the very beginning of this journey when we entered into the interlocal agreement that brought the first three parts of the projects out of the ground. Mayor Crotty? Okay, I think everybody knows that I'm a pretty big sports fan, and you may not know that I'm just as big a supporter of the arts. So the same excitement I get when the Magic or the Knights play, or Orlando City wins its first game in its new stadium, I get just as excited to hear the Orlando Philharmonic or the Orlando Opera or watch the artistry of the Orlando Ballet. How about that? Ballet, opera, and Phil, you out there? And I can't wait to hear the sounds of jazz and classical music and, of course, country music that will occasionally be played here too, right? Okay. That's going to be on the stage at the Steinmetz Hall in the green room. So we're proud to be partners with the Dr. Phillips Center to fulfill the dream that so many people over so many actual decades, not years, but decades, have helped to carry out. And you know what? Arts connect people. They enrich our lives. They help to unite us, as we have seen in this last year. They give meaning to the world around us. They give us a sense of place. They help define who we are. There's no doubt that arts are the soul of our city. And the work to bring the Performing Arts Center to life and now to break ground on Phase 2 shows an outstanding aspect of this community, that when we work together, as Chuck said, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Green Party, county, city, they leave anybody out, business community, tourism community, great things happen. And that's, to borrow a phrase from the airport, that's the Orlando experience. That's what we're all about. So to our local arts groups, you deserve to be celebrated. You not only entertain us, but you inspire us, and especially our youngest residents. So to the ballet, the Phil, and the opera, we're thrilled that the Steinmetz Hall will soon be your home. And for our community, the dream that we've had for decades is about to be fulfilled. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I'd like to call on our great partner from Orange County. We've done so many great things together, who succeeded Mayor Crotty, Mayor Teresa Jacobs.
Well, thank you, Mayor Dyer. And Mayor Dyer said it. This is a great day to live in Orlando. But I gotta admit that for the last 25 years I've lived here, I can say that about almost every day I've lived in Orlando. One of the things that I love about living here is it just keeps getting better. What a great day for a groundbreaking, too. By the way, the little bit of wind, if it's a problem for you, I do need to mention we are technically in the city limits, and Mayor Dyer is responsible for weather. So, oh, yeah, he reminds me I could have used a little hairspray. Thank you. That might have helped. Who could have envisioned 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when Linda Chapin, when Bill Frederick were first thinking that this is something we needed? Who could have imagined how much of the heart and soul of Orlando this beautiful gem would come to hold? And when I think about what happened on that horrible night, but more importantly, what happened in the aftermath as this community rose like no other community has ever risen, to come together to overcome evil and adversity and hatred with unity and love and support. That was a model for the world to see. And as Chuck pointed out, if there's been a time when our national government has been more divided, when the conflicts that we're seeing in Washington are dividing citizens all across our nation, if it's been worse, it hasn't been in my lifetime. And when I think about your words, that we have our different approaches, and we disagree. I mean, and every time Mayor Dyer and I disagree, somehow it seems to make headlines. And it looks bigger than it actually is. I do want to share that with you. We both have the same passion for the future of this community. And here in Orlando, we figure out how to put those partisan differences aside and how to strive to bring things like this to reality. And that's another thing that our whole nation could learn a lot from is how we do things. Independents, Republicans, Democrats, Green Party, forgot about them, non-party officials, all of us coming together and all of you coming together with one clear voice about what you want done. It makes all the difference in the world. We love the beautiful Senate lawn, and we love the Arts Plaza, and of course we love the wonderful Walt Disney World Theater and the breathtaking Alexis and Jim Pugh Theater. But I am so extraordinarily excited about what is yet to come, the home for our local performers. And I want to take this moment to just thank Chuck Steinmetz and his wife for their incredible contribution for making this a reality. Margery, welcome to the community. You are fully and completely adopted and one of us. And Chuck, God bless you. For everyone who believed in this vision, like Linda Chapin and Bill Frederick, thanks for dreaming big and staying with us till we got it done. To Mayor Crotty, and to your team, sir, that is now my team, great team, by the way, people like Ajit Lachandani and Eric Gassman and the architects really for the financial component to bring our board to the table, something that wasn't easy to do because, as I mentioned, we see things financially a little different, but you managed to put together a plan that the Board of County Commissioners could get behind, and thank you for that as well, Mayor Crowdy. And then to the team that brought it across the finish line, I want to recognize Commissioner Clark. Commissioner Clark, thank you. Commissioner Thompson, stand up. Commissioner Siplin, stand up. And who else do I have here from the board? Commissioner Nelson, stand up and take a bow. Anybody else from the Board of County Commissioners? Thank you all. Thanks for making the final hall a reality. And I also just want to take a moment to mention that those of you who have been here for premiere performances, you've probably seen what I've seen. You've seen people from all walks of life that come in to this beautiful performance hall and enjoy and take part. But my hat goes off to Kathy Ramsberger and what she has done to deliver on the promise that this would be a performance center for all. The Dr. Phillips Performance Hall was not just for those who are blessed financially. This would be a center that would serve our children. This would be a center that would serve our children with special needs. This would be a center for every citizen here in Orange County. And she said it, and I've got to tell you, when you're in public office, you sometimes get a little suspicious about promises people make, and can they really deliver? And by God, you delivered. Thank you, Kathy. Great job. And finally, let me mention Jim Pugh, without which none of us would be here today. You can dream big, you can have great visions, and we had leaders that did, but you have to have that person who just will not accept no for an answer. I was going to say give up, but let's just call it what it is. Will not take no for an answer. Somebody who is determined, who is passionate, who puts his money where his mouth is, and then puts all of his energy where it is as well. And that's Jim Pugh. And this community will forever be changed for the better. Because of each one of you here, because of the Dr. Phillips Foundation, because of all of our leaders that are here with us, because of the Greens, because every citizen that gave $1 or a dime or $1 million. And probably it would be a time for me to step down and stop talking and introduce our next speaker, which brings me to the next point. Let us never forget that venues like this and venues like the Citrus Bowl that's exceeding our expectations and the arena, but especially this incredible contribution to our community would not be possible if it wasn't for our tourism industry, if it wasn't for the tourist development tax we take in every year, and the hardworking men and women that go to work every day to make sure that we remain the tourism capital of this nation, we could not possibly have afforded this. So I always tell you, if you see a police officer, say thank you for sacrificing your life. You see a fire rescue, tell them the same thing. If you see somebody that works in tourism at any level, thank them for the Dr. Phillips Center for Performing Arts. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Peter, he's the chairman now of Visit Orlando. And Peter, wonderful to have you with us, representing so many hardworking men and women in the tourism industry, yourself included. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good morning. While my day job may be serving as the managing director of the Waldorf Astoria and the Hilton Orlando at Bonnet Creek, I am very privileged to stand here today representing all of Orlando tourism industry through my joint chairmanships with two leading organizations, Visit Orlando and the Central Florida Hotel and Lodging Association. As the #1 destination in the United States, Orlando welcomes 66 million visitors a year and is recognized globally as a leader in developing innovative, creative entertainment. The Arts Center has itself brought a distinctive new layer to that reputation, creating a diverse entertainment experience in the heart of downtown with the world-class performances that bring us all together, which is the essence of what we also do as a global tourism destination. Our tourism associations embrace and enjoy promoting the center and this side of Orlando. We are also pleased that our industry could help support this important investment for our community and the leadership and initiatives of Mayor Jacobs and Mayor Dyer in creating that opportunity. As we look forward to promoting even more the spectacular performances in 2020, there's a little bit of debate on when that's going to be ready, right, Kathy and Mayor Dyer? But somewhere in that area, when the Steinmetz Hall and the Green Room will open to audiences for the first time. Very exciting for all of us in every facet that lives in Orlando. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts, Kathy Ramsberger.
Thank you, Peter, and good morning. One of the things that I treasure most on a day like today is the fact that so many people came together to get behind a remarkable project, to advocate for it, to support it, to ensure that we complete the project as we dreamt about 14 years ago. It's incredible to think about the dedication, the persistence, and the commitment over the decades to bring the Dr. Phillips Center for the Arts to life. The strength behind this project is the alignment of so many people who supported a courageous idea. Mayor Dyer and the Orlando City Commissioners, Mayor Jacobs and the Orange County Commissioners, the Community Redevelopment Agency and the Tourist Development Council, the State of Florida, the University of Florida, the University of Central Florida, got that one in there for you, Jim, Mayor Leary of Winter Park Commissioners, Jim Pugh, the Executive Committee and Board of Directors of the Performing Arts Centers, the Steinmetz, Dr. Phillips Charities, the Greens, and over 100 other donors who have committed gifts to Phase 2. Right now, we have over 1,650 donors who have believed in this project, the entire project. Over 40 of them have committed over $1 million or more. And a lot of them committed it when they had no idea what it looked like. They just believed in the notion of what could the arts do for a community like ours. All of these partners have created a wonderful place, and just to date, in just, I think, about 27 months, just over 2 years, we've had close to 1,300 shows and events. 350,000 students have been here, and over 1 million guests, and it's not complete yet. We'd like to thank our phenomenal design team and construction team. Barton Myers and Matt Clear with HKS, thank you for all these years of staying true to making sure that the building embraced a wonderful purpose. Damian Dory, our acoustician, and Millie Dixon, our theater designers, are here, along with the projects groups, our owners' reps, and as well as Whiting Turner, our construction manager. When you have all these different funding partners coming together, it takes a lot of brilliant minds to get that done. It could never have happened without our CFO, Cecilia Kelly, Rebecca Sutton at the city, Chris McCullion at the city, and Eric Gassman. It is just remarkable. Especially, I'd like to recognize the 450 team members and colleagues and more than 600 volunteers who make the Dr. Phillips Center a very special place every day. You've heard from several people this morning who have talked about collaboration and partnerships and support that have been able to make great things happen in the Dr. Phillips Center. And that's true. Collaboration is everything that you think about that needs to be behind the arts. We have remarkable artists in Central Florida. This center has attracted people internationally, artists, nationally, and our local arts organizations have a chance to flourish here. And we all have the chance to experience something that maybe we wouldn't have had the chance to do if we could not just walk through these front doors and, like you've heard, check all of our differences at the door and come together and be around expression with other people. One of the best times that I've experienced in the Art Center is when I went up to a couple people that were sitting there, and they had never met before, but they were sitting together, and they just were sharing the experience of something that they had seen before and that they're inspired to come back again. That's the point. That's what we're trying to achieve. Most of all of the strengths that we've had to get to this point, it's imperative that we continue to reach high and continue to strive for the best. Because when you have these many people that are giving you their dollars and committing the public funds, we have a responsibility to deliver. And that commitment comes from a great team. Now we invite you to turn your attention to the screen, Steinmetz Hall and the green room. They're so close, you can almost hear it.
Well, it's a long 13-year story, but there are a lot of people that made this happen.
Steinmetz Hall is going to transform the experience.
There's never been anything quite like this.
Part of the reason I took this job and moved from New York City was because of this building.
And when it's finished, this will be the best performing arts center in the whole world.
The arts, music, literature, the humanities, it is food for our soul. Without it, we would starve.
For me, the arts change lives by giving back to the community.
The arts change lives by bringing people together.
I think the more that the arts are intermingled, it keeps everybody moving forward, and it's much more exciting.
The arts that we take part in are multidisciplinary, so choirs, orchestras, youth programs, education.
Dance is a form of expression. It gives me motivation and hope.
El teatro es un intercambio de energías y de ideas.
Opera is the culmination of all art forms, and there's something about the unamplified human voice. Without a microphone, hearing that viscerally, it gets you.
Oh gosh, the anticipation of a performance. It's mayhem, and yet it's also very calm to be backstage.
Every musician is completely focused on what they're about to do. You have the orchestra tuning in the orchestra pit, and the dancers are feeling it behind the curtain, and the audiences experience it as they go to their seats.
So when the curtain goes up, it's like, wow, it's actually showtime.
There's something about performing in front of an audience and feeling their reaction to what you're trying to communicate, what you're trying to put out there.
All of the butterflies and nerves get transformed into physical energy.
Esa conexión es inmediata, se conectan las energías y es una sensación impresionante.
I believe we're an entry point to a lot of people to come to experience the arts. We always want them leaving wanting more.
This building will be finished in 3 years, but the Performing Arts Center will never be finished.
We keep the arts moving forward in our community by continuing to share and educate with these magical, magical experiences.
Making arts available for everyone.
Arts for every life.
para todos.
Arts for every life. I couldn't think of a better way to describe the center and what art should be doing in this world right now. Creating a place where everyone feels comfortable, feels at home, and feels part of the actual art being made.
I know it's close when we're moving a bunch of these.
I know it's close when I get to put on one of these.
I want to be close to our audience.
We want to be close to the community.
I want to be close.
Close.
So close.
It's so close.
You can almost hear it.
You'll be close to every step.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Every note.
Every breath.
Cada palabra.
Cast, we are at Places, please. Places for show.
Close to every...
Close.
So close.
So close.
So close.
Muy cerca.
So close.
So close.
It's so close. So close.
Who would have imagined that we would be at a point in time where the phone could